All right, we have Mayor Rudy Giuliani joining us. There is probably no better spokesman that Donald Trump has than the mayor, and he has gone all over this country. And when he shows up in a spin room, they congregate on him, and he starts arguments. And you know, and I don't want you to say this. That's what Italians do, Neil. They start arguments. All right, Mayor, good to see you. Well, you know, they're all making a big deal of what your candidate had to say.
Well, of course they're making a big deal because he knocked her out. So they have to make a big deal out of something.
Okay. Well, you didn't even hear the rest of my question.
I know what he was going to say. You're going to say he...
About the whole thing, would he honor the vote?
Well, why should he answer that without knowing what the vote is? The possibility is...
Do you think the system could be rigged?
I think
if the vote is rigged enough to change the election.
Depends on how close the election is. So let me give you a hypothetical.
All right.
She wins Pennsylvania by 400,000 votes. No problem. She wins Pennsylvania by 30,000 votes. I want to look at Philadelphia because I know they ship people in from Camden, elsewhere, to vote in Philadelphia, and they vote.
So the size of the victory would matter to you. Now, if she had won enough states or was comfortable with the electoral, then you might not make a big deal.
I had it happen to me in '89 and '93. '89, I didn't stop it. I lost. '93, I stopped about 70% of it, and I won it.
You're talking about the New York mayoral election.
Yeah, I can give you the president of the Yankees you could talk to, who was the head of my voter integrity, Randy Levine, and I asked him on the morning, on the evening of '93, did we stop all the voter fraud? He said about 70% of it.
Interesting.
And that was people going around voting the names of dead people.
Do you think, though, now again, polls are all over the map, and I think you know what I'm going to say here, that if the margin is significant enough, it's a moot point, and that he would have to honor that if he lost by a large enough
Of course he would.
Okay, and you think he would?
I have no question about it. This is about also reading the extent to which the Clintons will go to win an election, like paying people to induce violence at a Trump rally. I mean, that's extraordinary.
What's come out of these WikiLeaks, right?
Yeah, I've never heard of that before. I mean, it's extraordinary what they're capable of. The amount of money they've taken from countries that are horrible. She never even answered that. He pointed out all the money she took from countries that were horrible.
Do you think he sees the initiative enough? In other words, she said or did something, like even what you mentioned about his rallies or violent, he didn't really see something. Well, they were violent.
Oh, yes, he did. I think he knocked her out with it. She said at one point, "You have violence at your rallies," and he said, "Yeah, you paid for it."
Right, do you think he did that? He was responding enough tonight, or
yes, I think he laid out very, very clearly the differences between her and him. I mean, we now know it's clear she's going to raise taxes as the answer to everything. That's her only answer. His answer is he's going to lower personal, corporate taxes, and he's going to renegotiate trade agreements. Big difference.
Why didn't he, and it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback of these things, and George Bush, the last Bush president, was very effective at saying, no, I'm lowering taxes for everyone. And so every time that she would say, you're lowering taxes for guys like you or various like that, but he didn't say, no, I'm lowering taxes for everyone.
He did say
Do you think he mixed?
Well, maybe he didn't say it clearly enough for you to hear it, but he said, I'm lowering taxes for everyone, I'm lowering the corporate tax, and I am renegotiating the trade agreements.
Okay. So I'll trust you, because I'm afraid of you.
Don't be afraid of me.
Okay, fine.
The answer is,
especially when you touch
if she gets elected, more money's coming out of your pocket. If he gets elected, more money's going into your pocket.
What do you make of this undercount issue? That a lot of the Trump folks, there are a lot of people who support me. They're not saying it. 20% undecided in Arizona, for example. No way in heck that many are undecided. That a good many are going to cut to Donald Trump.
I think there are two things that are quite possible, although can't be scientifically proved.
Right.
One is that there is an undercount because the media has been so horrible to him. People might be embarrassed to say I'm voting for Trump. They shouldn't be.
Right.
He's a much better candidate than she is, but he's been made into this monster by the New York Times.
The coverage has been disproportionately negative to him. That's for sure.
Right. So there'd be a tendency to say, oh, I'm not going to vote for him. Second, I think he has, among his supporters, a much higher enthusiasm level than she has.
Are you worried, though, about the number of Republicans who are still standoffish?
I think that could be made up with the number of new people he's brought into the party. It's true that maybe some of the old-fashioned establishment Republicans are turned off, but he's brought in new people to the party that weren't at the dance before. Yeah. So that also could throw the polls off, because they're going.
Because a lot of them seem to be worried, we've given up on Trump and we think we're going to lose the Senate or the House.
I travel with him and I see the crowds he draws.
Yeah.
And I know you can be fooled by crowds, but not this number. There's a definite enthusiasm for him in the country.
And you don't think it's reflected in the polls?
And I think it'll be a very close election. That's why I think he gave the measured answer that he gave and just didn't say, I'm going to agree to the election, because he's not going to have it stolen from him.
That's a very good Donald Trump impression.
Could the Clintons, are the Clintons capable of stealing an election? Yeah. If they're capable of paying somebody to foment a violent rally, they're capable of stealing an election.
All right.
But they're not going to steal this one.
All right.
Make sure of that.
So you're not for Hillary Clinton?
I believe Hillary Clinton is the most dishonest, corrupt person that's ever run for this office that I know of.
Don't block, Mayor. Say how you feel. All right, Mayor Rudy Giuliani.